The first person that we have tonight, who I don't know if she's able to join us, is Laura Heifetz. We're really happy to have Laura to work with us. She works with the Fund for Theological Education in Atlanta and is a lot of fun, although I think she's here.
I'm here. Thanks for letting me know that I'm a lot of fun. That's awesome. So hey everyone, my name is Laura. I live in Atlanta, Georgia, but I am not from Atlanta. I'm from the West Coast. I'm really excited to be working with you all. If you're super lucky, I'll show you photos of my dogs and nieces when we get there.
Hello, I'm Kevin Hay. I'm the campus minister in Wilmington, North Carolina. You may have already heard from me, but anyway, I reach out to students at UNCW and Cape Fear Community College. I've been there for about 4 years, and I'm looking forward to getting to know all of you for a couple of weeks in Pittsburgh.
Hi, I'm Ellie Johns Kelly. I serve a congregation in Warren, Pennsylvania, and I love working with the larger church. This will be, I don't know, probably my 9th or 10th General Assembly, and I love to garden and race sailboats and run marathons, and I'd be happy to show any runners out there some great routes around the city of Pittsburgh. I spent 13 years there before moving to the wee town of Warren in northwest Pennsylvania. So ask me any questions you have.
And I'm Jeff Moles. I am from Nashville, Tennessee, where I work at a nonprofit called Room in the Inn with the homeless population in Nashville. I was a young adult advisory delegate to the 212th General Assembly back in the year 2000. I also served as a young adult volunteer in Nashville about 6 years ago, and I'm looking forward to meeting all of you at the General Assembly in a few weeks.
All right, so we've taken a moment to just very briefly introduce ourselves, but now you may be wondering, what in the world is a YAAD advisor? What do they do? And of course, the first thing is that we are awesome, and you will see that in so many ways. It will be such a privilege for you to get to know us because we're so amazing. And we also are full of humility, as you can probably tell. So, but seriously though, what a YAAD advisor is, we do a lot of things. From when you get there, we're going to help train you during orientation, help you understand what it means to be a YAAD, and then throughout your time, there will be times when you're in committees, there will be times when we're in plenary, and all of that time we're here to be a variety of things to you. We're here to be a pastor to you if you need somebody to talk to. We're here to be a resource or a guide from, whether you're looking for where to go in the convention center, or if you're trying to think about making a motion in your committee and you'd like some advice on how to go about doing that. We're here to be a resource on those things. We are impartial. We don't have any opinions at all about any of the political issues taking place at GA. And I'd say that somewhat jokingly, but we do have opinions, but we will not share them. We're not here to influence you in any way. We're just here to help you share your own voice at General Assembly. We're also here. We're a very confidential group. You can reach out to us and we can be trusted with whatever you need to talk about. And finally, we're somebody that if anything happens, any kind of emergency, we hope that we're the first person that you contact to let us know, because we're the ones to reach out to. So those are some of the things that we'll be doing for you as YAAD advisors.
So each of the 4 YAAD advisors will be taking a group of you to serve as sort of a home group, a smaller group that you'll be able to get into at different times during the week. And also this specific YAAD advisor you'll be working with will be your primary contact person. So I'll invite Laura, if she can get on to introduce to you which committees she'll be working with.
Hi folks, I am working with you on committees. I'll be working with Committee 3, which is GA Procedures, and with Committee 15, Middle East Issues. So those of you who are on the call who are on that committee, looks like Alice Crawford and Alexander Peterson, and then Victoria Sihalath. I'm really sorry if I just butchered your name. So I'm really looking forward to meet you. Also working with Committee 18, which is Confessions, and Committee 20, which is the Board of Pensions, the Foundation, and Presbyterian Publishing Corporation. And Laura Chambers, if you're on, you're in that group. So I'll be working with you. And Committee 21, Health Issues, and Esther Choi, I'll also be working with you. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all there in committees working away diligently.
Okay, and if you're in any of these committees, Committee 4, the review of biennial GAs, Committee 7, church orders and ministry, Committee 10, mission coordination, Committee 16, church growth and Presbyterian investment loan program, something like that, or Committee 19, review of GA permanent committees. You'll be a part of Kevin's home group, or KHA is what some people like to call me.
Hi, this is Ellie, and those of you who are on Committee 5, the Middle Council Issues, folks like Grant Shields and Stephen Watts, and numerous others of you, you'll be on my Committee 5, Middle Council Issues. Committee 8, Sally Horn, Zach Sell, and Cleotha Stigger are on the AI review, which is authoritative interpretation review, and I'm happy to explain what those are more deeply with you when we get to GA. Committee 9, you are also one of in our home group that's ecumenical and interfaith issues. I know Brad Hahn's on right now, and so is Lindsay Sandcipher. You'll be part of Committee 9, and then Committee 13, civil union and marriage issues. Amanda is on that one with us, and I think on the call now. And then Committee 17, theological issues, institutions, and Christian education. And we have 5 YAADs that will be on that committee with us. So I believe our home groups are all probably about 37 to 40 YAADs in a group between all our committees, and we have about 5 committees to each YAAD advisor, each home group.
And this is Jeff. The committees that I'll be working with will include Committee number 2, Bills and Overtures. I think registered on the call today was Clinton Klinchik, who will be serving with us on Committee 2. Committee number 6, Church Polity, which includes Patricia Gable and Sarah Hoops. Committee number 11, which is Social Justice Issues, includes Edward Elam. Committee number 12, Immigration Issues, includes Emma Freelick and Caitlin Moss. And then Committee number 14, Peacemaking and International Issues, which would include Matthew Eardley, William Merritt, and Ben Zinkel. If we didn't say your name, we read off the names of people who we knew were registered a couple of hours ago. So if we didn't list your name, you will be serving with the advisor who's working with the committee that you've been assigned to.
And you arrive. You will be coming by planes, trains, and automobiles, I am sure. A great majority of you will be coming in planes, though. So I want to tell you a little bit about Pittsburgh Airport. You'll land. And when you get off your planes, just follow the sign to baggage claim. Pittsburgh Airport, the concourses make a big X. So you have A, B, C, and D, and they all lead into the center of the X to escalators. You'll take the escalators down all the way and hop on a train or a tram that will launch you over. You don't have a choice. There's only one stop. and it will drop you over on the other side. You'll get off that tram and take another set of escalators down, and that will put you in the baggage claim area. You will see General Assembly volunteers wearing black and gold, and they'll be obvious to you. So those folks can answer any questions you have at the airport and guide you to your baggage. There will be a shuttle from the airport to the hotel. All the YAADs and YAAD advisors are staying at the Wyndham, and so people will know where you need to go. But the Wyndham is the YAAD hotel, and you'll all be there together. An important thing not to forget when you're coming to GA is to have a credit card for incidentals at the hotel. You can use a cash or a credit card, but if you have your own credit card or your parents have one, they can loan you for the week. When you check in at the hotel, you'll need to provide that credit card in case you put a meal on your room or you call for room service. GA won't be paying for those things, so you'll need to provide that at the beginning. And also, don't forget to bring some cash with you for tipping. Typically, when you get off the shuttle, there'll be a shuttle driver who might help you with your bag. Traditionally, you would tip someone $1 for helping you with a bag. If you have 2 bags, $2. And then often, when you stay at hotels, it's considered generous and for business travelers expected to tip at minimum $1 a night per person in a room. And your presbytery may reimburse you for that. I'm not sure. You'd have to talk to your presbytery exec. But for those who are cleaning your room each day, they don't get paid a whole lot, and it's considered a courtesy to leave $1 a night per person per room. So keep that in mind as you come, just FYI. When you get in on Thursday, you're going to check in to the Wyndham first. So you'll get off your shuttle, go to the hotel, front desk, give them your name, provide them with your credit card, and they'll give you your room and send you there. We will be having registration right in the hotel beginning at 5 o'clock on Thursday. So if you're there early, hang out in your room, chill out. You can come explore where our registration area is. Then you might find other YAADs hanging around and be able to get to know folks too. That night, dinner's going to be on your own. So we'll have plenty of recommendations for you, and Tyler Gibson, who didn't introduce himself, who is working with OGA. He's a recent seminary graduate who's been interning with the Office of General Assembly for the last few years. He will provide a easel with a writing board so we can post where you might like to, or what time you'd like to go to dinner, and if you're looking for people to dine with. And it'll be a good meeting space for finding other folks. Our room that we will be hosting our orientation in will be open at about 6:30, and you'll have the space to hang out there that night. And any other commentary, Tyler? No other commentary. You'll be able to hang out that night. We will give you a great welcome and help you figure out how to slide in. Some of you will be extroverts, and some of you will be introverts. And meeting new people might be slightly frightening or just overwhelming. And we'll work with you to make it really an extraordinary experience, and one that you'll be able to claim community easily and get to know folks.
On the Friday, the day right after you arrive in Pittsburgh, we will be spending the day together as a community of young adult advisory delegates. This will be a day when we'll have some time for worship. We'll spend some time in our home groups that we described earlier. We'll be hearing from our candidates for moderator and vice moderator of the 220th General Assembly. We'll be getting lots of information about things and skills you'll need to make it through the week at the Assembly. And at the end of the day, we'll be electing our YAAD co-moderators and closing with a time of worship and communion together. This is also a reminder, you've received an email mentioning the election of our YAAD co-moderators. And if you are interested in serving as one of those co-moderators, which are people who help us lead our nightly YAAD gatherings, help represent the face of the YAADs to the larger assembly, be sure to contact Tyler. I know he sent out an email in the last couple of weeks to you. Contact him within the next week or so we can get your information out to the rest of the YAADs for that election on Friday evening. The way that the week will look as a whole, you'll be arriving on Thursday. Then the next day, as I was just explaining, we will be spending the day together doing orientation. Then on Saturday, that is when the General Assembly will actually convene. We'll have opening worship and the election of the moderator. Then Sunday we'll be worshiping in different congregations around Pittsburgh and be beginning 3 days of committee work. And then the last 3.5 days of the assembly are spent in plenary, which you can see a picture of. Plenary is the large gathering of all of the commissioners and advisory delegates meeting to do and complete the business of the assembly. One of the things that we will have the opportunity to do most evenings during General Assembly will be to gather as the YAAD community. This will be happening fairly late most evenings. It will happen after your committee meetings are done and after the plenary sessions are done. Most sessions will start about a half hour after the plenary meetings end. There are a couple of meetings where there will be special events that we will not be holding our specific YAAD gatherings, but we'll give you more information on other things that will be going on. And basically what will happen during these nightly gatherings is we will help you create a space for YAAD specifically where we can kind of process what's going on during the day. We can share what's happened maybe in our committees, spend some time in our home groups, and be together in worship in a unique setting. So we'll look forward to spending some good times together in our YAAD gathering, which will happen at the Wyndham Hotel where we're all staying after the day's business.
One of the things I wanted to give all of you an opportunity to see was where we're going to be in Pittsburgh. The map that you see right now, the A is the convention center where all of the meetings of the assembly are going to be held, and the 7 down on the lower left of the picture just where the rivers meet is where our hotel is. So you can see it's a bit of a walk. It's about 15 minutes from the convention center to the hotel, and so it should be nice that time of year, so it'll be a good time to get out and walk along the river. Ellie just reminded me it's only 7 blocks, so it's not that bad.
More generous than
And that it's far better than in the past. I also wanted to give you a look at the convention center to kind of see where things are. What you see right now is that Hall D and E. This is the ground level where you'll come in when you walk in. You'll walk in next to Hall D and E, and that's where the offices for the General Assembly will be. So if you're looking for me, or if you're looking for someone that can help you with financial things or something else, that's where you'll go. If you're having problems with your debit cards that will help you pay for your meals, that's where you'll go. That's where people will be stationed to help you and to help make the assembly happen. Up on the next level, on level 2, we have the 3 halls. One of them that you'll spend a lot of time in the plenary hall in Hall A. The exhibit hall is also a really great place for you to stop and see all of the great things that this church does around the world and close to home. And then all of our worships will be in Hall C at the end, including the opening worship on Saturday. The next 2 levels up are where you're going to spend all of your committee time. here on level 3 and up on level 4, you can see that the committee rooms range from really big to really small, and they're going to be different and have different flavors to them as a result. So I just wanted you guys to all get and take a look at that and have an opportunity to see the kind of places we'll be. It's hard to describe. It's a really beautiful convention center, and I think you'll really enjoy being able to meet and join each other there. Knowing that GA is a really long time and that it's a marathon, not a sprint, we thought we'd put together some survival tips for you to try and see what you could do to have an awesome assembly.
So I don't know if I'm on. So one very obvious one is to sleep. To be sure you get enough sleep before you come, and to be sure that every night while you're there you get plenty of sleep, because you're going to be working from the first moment that you wake up in the morning until you go to bed pretty late at night, and so it can be a very exhausting experience. And so one of the best things to do is to take care of yourself by getting plenty of rest.
So you're not out in the desert, you're in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but it's going to be critical that you drink plenty of water every day. If you drink water, you'll be less exhausted, you won't get headaches, you'll be more alert. So make sure you bring water bottles with you. If you're flying, you can't carry the water in your bottle on the plane, just carry your bottle along. Make sure you refill it. You might even find freebies in the exhibit hall of people giving away water bottles. Maybe not, but maybe, who knows. So be prepared to drink lots of water, keeping yourself well hydrated, like 64 ounces a day minimum.
We have our next tip is be nice. You will be with all sorts of different people at the assembly. You'll be with people of all ages and from places around the country. So be good to one another. There will be people who have different habits than you might have, and one of the things that we do is we live together as a community during the week. So be nice. I think that's a good way to sum that up. The last one we have is to be fully present. Being a part of the General Assembly is something that you should not take for granted. It's not something that most Presbyterians will be able to do. And being at a meeting with a couple thousand people who are part of your faith community is an amazing thing to be a part of. So be fully present, engage, attend worship. Be prepared before you attend the assembly so that you can participate fully. When you are in a meeting of your committee or the plenary, try not to be focused on texting or Facebook or whatever other things might be tempting to you on your computer or device. And just take advantage of this amazing opportunity to be a part of the General Assembly and the work of the church.
Finally, as we've moved through tonight, we've gotten a few people that have asked some questions, and we think it'd be a good idea to answer some of those and hopefully clarify some things. And we really invite you to post any more that you have as we go through this. One of the things that we do every night is we have music, and we've had a couple of people that have asked, what do I do if I want to be involved in music? I like to sing. I like to play an instrument. What do I do? Jeff is our resident music guru, and so he is a wonderful person to answer this one.
Sure. The question is about if you are a musician, how can you get involved? We will have worship and music as part of our orientation day on the first Friday and then also during our evening gatherings. And I would love to have anyone who would like to help lead music. I will be letting you know when we can get together to maybe rehearse some things, but I would encourage you, if you have a guitar or a drum or something like that, any kind of instrument you want to bring along, we can incorporate it into our worship. We would love to have you help with that.
Another question is, what do we wear? Do we have to dress up?
So often I would say the description would be business casual. You don't have to wear business suits or dresses, but I would wear
Clothes that look presentable, look like you want to be there.
if you're wearing shorts,
wear ones that look good,
right? You said?
And make sure that you bring either a sweater or sweatshirt with you,
because the committee rooms
and the convention center and in the hotel will likely be freezing cold.
And
so you'll go between being cool and warm, so bring some layers with you. And any other suggestions from the rest of you?
I would say to just keep in mind that General Assembly is certainly not a place where you have to dress up or anything like that. You can be comfortable because you will be walking, it will be hot outside, but it is a business meeting, and you're representing our whole group of YAADs, you're representing the church, and it is important to look professional.
Another question that's come up is, do we pay for our own food? Or does GA cover the cost? When you get there, we will give you a debit card that is preloaded with a certain amount of money to cover the food. Everybody gets a per diem that I want to say is around $45 a day to pay for your meals. And so we pay for them. It's taken care of. But it's up to you to use that money wisely. Once you run out, it's up to you to cover it. But you'll find some people manage to eat the entire week and have leftovers, and then you've got a couple weeks before the card expires that you can use that to get coffee or get a meal on the way home, or to take care of things once you get home. But there's always that option.
sleep and nightly gathering.
We also have a question about sleep and the nightly gatherings. We know that sleep's really important. Can we leave the nightly gathering to get some sleep if we're really tired and that's what we want to do?
Our hope is that you're going to be part of nightly gathering.
Our hope is that you're going to be part of nightly gathering,
Even if you're over
and that even if you're overeager from great conversation, will balance your sleep through the week, that you're not staying up too late, that you can't be fully present for your committee meeting, for plenary when those days come, and for being part of our nightly gatherings. We'll be having worship together, and it'll play into a strong sense of community. So it's really important to be there. However, if you're not feeling well, talk to whomever your YAAD advisor is specifically, and we'll work with you on that, but we want you to make this a priority as well, because it will play into our life together. And if folks aren't present, then it will diminish the community for everyone. So what we want you to do is to be intentional about getting sleep once nightly gatherings are over. And the reality is, the night we elect our GA moderator, we will be going late and you will be tired. But that's how it runs on Saturday nights. But other nights will be easier. So would you have anything else to say, any of you, or Laura?
I would just say that all of you are adults, so definitely do what you need to do to take care of yourself, but I wanted to echo that time will be, I think, pretty important for how we're able to process the assembly. No other commissioner or advisory delegate gets this kind of time to come together and share with folks in a way that's formal, so I would suggest just taking advantage of that.
There's a couple questions right here that I can take care of and answer for us. And one of them is, do I need a laptop? And the answer is yes. all of the way we track business at the Assembly is using a computer program called PCBiz that you log into through whatever your web browser is. And so you do need a laptop. If you don't have one, that's okay. Let us know at OGA, and we will reserve one for you and make sure you have one when you're at the Assembly. We don't want you left sitting there not knowing what's going on in any of the meetings. So when you bring your 2GA, we'd prefer you bring an actual laptop. If you've got an iPad or anything else like that, it will work, but there may be issues with it if you don't have a laptop, because we like everybody to plug in with an Ethernet cord, simply because we can guarantee that you're seeing what everybody else in the room is seeing for business. Another one is what to do if I don't have a credit card when I get there. And the answer right now is, let me check on that, and I'll let all of you know next week in an email. I know that we've dealt with that in the past, but I don't remember what our answer is. But we will work something out, and we'll make sure that you have somewhere to sleep and that you have somewhere comfortable to stay, because that's really important to us, that you're able to do your work and do it comfortably. And so yes. The next question is, are the YAAD gatherings at the YAAD Hotel? And the answer is absolutely. When we get back to the Wyndham every night, we're going to be in the ballroom 3 downstairs. And that's our room for the entire week. We've got that room all the time. And so all of our stuff is going to happen right there. And so when we're done at night, we can go upstairs, or you can hang out in the lobby, or do whatever you need to do. But the Wyndham is kind of our home base. And so we're just going to stay there the entire time. Another question we've just gotten is a debit card okay? And absolutely. One use for it is that when you check into a hotel, they're going to want it not so that they can charge you for the room, but so that if you order room service or something like that, they're going to put a hold for a certain amount on your card. That amount can be very large. Now, it doesn't mean they're going to take it forever, but it means that so long as you're checked in there, you're not going to have access to it. So if you take a debit card, you run the risk of them putting a hold on your account for an amount greater than what you've got in the account. So a debit card works, but it's really better to have a credit card. And the last couple questions, are there any opportunities for photography and tech work? And that's something I'll have to check on. I don't know what we've got there, but I will check on that. We have got a lot of media stuff that goes on at the Assembly, and there might be opportunities to be involved in some of that, so long as it doesn't conflict with your role as a YAAD, with being present with the other YAADs and being present in all of the meetings.
I would just jump in there and say that for the most part, your work as a YAAD will consume almost all of your time while you're in Pittsburgh. So there's not a lot of time for looking around the city or taking part in other ways in the Assembly, because being YAAD will take probably 99% of your time and 150% of your energy. So.
It looks now like we've made it through most of the questions that we've been asked, unless any of the YAAD advisors have something.
Can they get any contact info for each other before they get to Pittsburgh as a question?
One of the questions that we just missed was, can you get contact info for each other before we get to Pittsburgh? The short answer is that's not possible. Once you get there, you're free to trade information back and forth, all that you would want.
But, they could do so on Facebook.
Yeah, or you can do it Facebook or however you want. But we're not able to give the information out to anybody else. The Facebook page.
And I see that many of you are joining the Facebook page because there's notification after notification popping up on my computer right now.
I sent it out to them, but I don't know how to work it.
Right. If you go to GA 220 YAADs, if you search for that, that is our Facebook page. We also have a Twitter account. And you can also follow the business of the Assembly on Twitter by searching the hashtag GA220. That's a good way to kind of follow information. and share with other people who will be a part of the assembly in a variety of ways. Our Facebook is a page that you
So being a YAAD is a great privilege. You've already probably been told this by your presbytery executives and those working with you, your general presbyter or whatever you call the individual there. But it is a great privilege to have an incredible voice in the church. As YAADs, you have voice and vote in committee, which does really the majority of the work. When you are on the floor of GA in the plenary session, you will have voice but no vote. But your voice and vote are the most critical at committees. So an important thing to do is make sure you're prepared and ready to go. You have a lot of reading to do ahead of time, and we encourage you to start with your committee overtures that are before you. Get on PC Biz. Get as much of that reading done as you can ahead of time. Get through your committee overtures. That you get as much reading as you can done, and feel free to contact us on the Facebook group if you have any questions, concerns, you want to talk about what you're excited about or what you're just unsure about. But this will be a great time together, and the preparation you do ahead of time can really make for a much better experience, as well as one where you're not cramming at the last minute trying to figure out what is going on.
Just a reminder, even though you are assigned a particular committee that will be responsible for making recommendations about a certain set of business, the entire General Assembly will end up voting on every single piece of business that's listed there on PC Biz. So do spend some time over the next 3 weeks familiarizing yourselves with the many issues that are before the Assembly this year.
All right, at this time, I think we've come to the end of our time together tonight, and we're really excited to get to come together with all of you in just over 20 days. In fact, right now we're at 22 days. So we're really excited to have all of you come. Once we're done tonight and once we stop this webinar, there'll be a survey that pops up that'll ask you to answer some quick questions about the webinar tonight, just about your experience with it. If there's any concerns you have or anything, feel free to share them. We've also recorded this webinar and we'll post it in the next week or so, and then we'll send a link to all of you that you can watch it, and if you have questions or things that have come up, you can listen and see if we've answered them. And if we haven't, feel free to ask us, and we'll do the best we can to make sure you are as prepared as you can possibly be for the assembly. So thank you very, very much for joining us tonight, and grace and peace be with you, and we'll see you in Pittsburgh. Have a great night. Bye-bye.